UFC 296 goes down on Saturday night in Vegas at T-Mobile Arena, and it's another opportunity for those who love betting on combat sports to win some money. New York Post sports betting analyst Erich Richter, he is also a UFC enthusiast, and he joins me now to break down the big fights. Erich, I know you were always pumped up for some UFC. How you doing? There you go. Just don't punch me. Just don't punch me. Always pumped up. So this is a good one because on this card, two title fights headline the final UFC card of 2023. First, we have the welterweight champion Leon Edwards putting his belt on the line against two-time former title challenger Colby Covington. Now, Edwards, he's the favorite here, minus 160, while Covington tantalizing plus 135 to win. What's your best bet for this bout?
Yeah, and ask that question, like, right, everyone that I see wants to know who I think is going to win this fight. I think that this is all about betting strategy. I think this is about, methods of victory. Colby Covington's probably not going to knock you out. He's probably not going to submit you. And Leon Edwards has won his first round in just about every fight that he's had, but specifically the last two fights against Kamaru, even the one where he was losing and he scored the late knockout late. Leon Edwards won that first round. He took Kamaru Usman's back, even mounted him in the grappling. Eventually I think we'd expect Leon Edwards to slow down as the fight continues. Well, Colby Covington doesn't slow down. He has that, all-American wrestling background, crazy cardio. That's his secret sauce, right? So for me, the best way to bet this is you don't bet anything pre-fight on Colby. If you think that Leon's going to knock him out, feel free to jump on, Leon knockout. I think you can get around plus 200. But for me, I'm looking to target Colby. I just want to know if he's going to get flatlined in the first 1.5 rounds. So I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to gain all the information that I can. I'm going to soak it in, and I'm going to wait to see if I can get Colby around plus 250. If he loses the first round, which he probably will, Leon, is very, very strong early. He's got better striking, and his grappling is usually very, very good early on. So I'm looking to enter on Colby maybe halfway through the second round at a plus 250 price, which is better than Colby's decision prop anyway. You can get a whole round of information, and if Colby gets flatlined in the first round or beginning of the second round, then you just gained all that information. So for me, I'm waiting. I'm going to live bet Colby during the second round against Leon, assuming that he loses the first, which he probably will. I've got a high clip.
All right, waiting and playing it with a live bet, get some more information, get those odds up. The sports bettors like that for sure. Next up, we have Alexander Pantoja making his first defense of his flyweight title in a rematch with Brandon Royval. These two battled back in August with Pantoja winning by submission in the second round. Now, Royval, he's won 3 straight fights since that loss in August. He's the underdog in this matchup. Are you going with the underdog or Pantoja here?
Yeah, so Pantoja and Royval fought a little bit ago, Pantoja won the second round of that fight. I believe that I think that in this fight, at a flyweight level, I think it's hard to say that, this one's going to clearly end by submission or knockout. And, when I saw it, I expected, this is probably going to be a bloodbath, first round submission, first round knockout. But the odds are just ridiculous here. You can get fight to go the distance at plus 380. 54% of fights at flyweight go the distance. These guys are bona fide finishers. Don't get me wrong. The finish rate for Royval, I think he's only had 1 decision in 8 fights in the UFC. Don't get me wrong. These guys are bona fide finishers, but it's a title fight. I'm assuming there's a chance at least that they maybe take things a step back, maybe. Just the numbers itself, 54% of flyweight fights go the distance, and now you're giving me, an 80% chance that this one's going to end inside the distance. That math just doesn't make sense for me. I'm going fight to go the distance here at plus 380 on FanDuel. And here's the prop of the weekend is Brandon Royval by decision. Brandon Royval, I actually like him better as a striker in this matchup, and I think that the grappling is so good from both sides that it could end up canceling out, especially in a title fight where they're both coming correct. They both had a full camp for this. So Brandon Royval by decision is plus 1,000. 10-1 on Brandon Royval by decision is plus 700 on most sharp books in Vegas. So grab that on DraftKings if it's still there. At the time of us doing this video, it was still there. That's the bet of the weekend. You're getting a solid edge there based on what the sharps and the pros have. And I think that this is going to be an absolute war. I'm very excited for this fight.
All right, that should be a good one there at the flyweight level. Last fight we're going to look at is a bantamweight showdown. We've got Cody Garbrandt and Brian Kelleher. Very intriguing matchup here. What play are you eyeing for this fight?
So, yeah, Cody no love Garbrandt. It's hard to show love for Cody at this point in his career. He's not the same kind of fighter. He's kind of trying to change his style a little bit. He used to be a madman. He should just rush in, quick knockout, and see you later. But eventually, your durability, your chin, as Dexter, sure as a boxing guy, Cody's chin started to go. So anytime he gets hit, it seems like he's on Wobble Street the second he gets hit. Brian Kelleher, his nickname is Boom. Boom Kelleher can boom. He lands some shots on the chin, and they can put people out. For me, I think that I have a very, very specific situation here. I'm on Kelleher plus 170 on the money line, but I think this is an interesting way to look at it. But Brian Kelleher has one of the best guillotine chokes in the UFC, so I think that Cody's going to get rocked, and then he's going to wildly shoot for a takedown, and Kelleher is going to cinch up a guillotine choke. That's the way that I see this fight going. I think that, or it could end in knockout if he lands a good enough shot. But Cody's been shooting in wildly for takedowns in order to kind of save him when he gets rocked. And against Kelleher, that's not going to work. Like I said, his guillotine choke is world class. Multiple submissions by Kelleher, and we've seen Cody rocked on countless occasions. It's impossible to back Cody here as a minus 200 favorite, and I think Kelleher's got this one.
All right,
Rock of the week.
Rocking with Kelleher on this one. That should be a good one. Look, this should be a good card. UFC 296, last one of the year. 2024, almost here already. I know you're excited about some of the cards coming up that were projected to come up down the road in 2024. That is Erich Richter, sports betting analyst for the New York Post, always on top of the UFC betting action. Erich, appreciate it, man.
Thanks. Appreciate you, buddy.